Good morning. Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day.
Sunday. You know what that means. You know what time it is. Yes, you are tuned in to ATW All Things Wrestling podcast. Want to give a shout out to them because I haven't probably given them a shout out in quite a long time. So if you're listening, this show is brought to you by Word on the Street. We haven't given Word on the Street a shout out in a long time. But they are also on YouTube, Facebook, totally different show. Check them out. It's cool. It's funny. But anyways, it's Sunday, and we're coming to you live from the West Coast. I am your host, Tony Twist, and always joined by the half asleep Miss.
For real. I'm always half asleep. I'm always tired. I never know what day it is. I just know I gotta tune in. Tony always gives me a reminder, y'all. So if I'm here, it's because of Tony.
There you go. Well, you forgot to introduce yourself.
But yes, I'm here, Liz. Hey,
yeah,
guys.
or as she was dubbed, I think last week, Hollywood Liz, right? You're Hollywood Liz now?
As others would call me that. Hollywood.
Well, anyways, I'm excited for today's show, but let me tell you what else I'm really excited about. I am going to... What's that? What'd you say? You talking shit already? What'd you say?
You're like, well, you know what else I'm excited for? And I'm like, these nuts.
Dang. What are we in? 8th grade?
12.
Oh. Good morning, Ivan Castillon. But anyways, let me
shout out to Circle Debate.
There you go. Yep, Circle Debate. Always in the chat. So good morning, fellas, but good afternoon to them because they're on the East Coast. But
No,
anyways,
he's not. They're in the West Coast. The West Coast is the best coast. They're in LA.
Oh, I'm thinking of Wrestling DeLorean. He's in New York.
He's in New York.
My bad. But anyways, I'm getting corrected. I can't even get out what I'm excited about because Liz keeps interrupting me. But anyways, it has been 4 long years, and I'm going to my first wrestling show in 4 years. I'm going to a local independent wrestling show. It's Prescott Pro Wrestling. We had the owner on last week. Brian Kendrick will be headlining the show, so I'm excited to see that. I got front row seats. It's a family show, so I was definitely reassured there will be no glass hitting me. I don't have to worry about any of that crazy hardcore shit. I'm not really into that anyway, so I'm glad it's a family show. So shout out to Prescott Pro Wrestling.
Yes. So if there's any promotions that have breaking glass everywhere, don't invite Tony. Invite me. It's fine. I'm more than welcome to be front row, taking in all the glass. Not in my face because I probably wear glasses, but
she'll just make sure she has her goggles. But anyways, let's jump to our guest. We got 2 guests on today, but they're coming on at the same time. They are from the. Is it shit? My mind is going blank. Anyways, I think it's professional. Yeah, there's like so many different types of podcasts. Obviously, we're one of them. But yes, the Professional Heels podcast. Their host, one of them is actually kind of in my neck of the woods. He's in Arizona. The other one is across the pond in London, England. So I'm excited to bring them on. Gavin, Gabriel, and Brendan Cobbina. Let's welcome them to the ATW All Things Wrestling podcast. Good morning, fellas. How you guys doing?
Good morning, guys.
Yeah, I guess it's a little too early because I totally draw a blank. I was like, oh, shit, the name of their podcast.
I gotcha. It's okay.
All right, we're going to plug it 100 times now because this way we get you guys out there. And it's a newer podcast, right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, so we started, I think, end of January was our first episode.
Week before Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was a prediction card we did for our first episode, and we've just been kind of rolling with it, doing not quite an episode every week, but every other week.
Yeah. I gotcha. Well, first, let's just address this because I'm sure our audience is probably wondering. Know that it's not John Cena with a tan on camera, right? And I think Brendan is known as the Black John Cena. So I was tripping. I was really tripping the first time I seen it. I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck? What's going on?" I thought John Cena was doing some blackface shit, and I'm like, "Wait, whoa, what's going on here?"
What's he doing there?
Time out.
I said, "John Cena about to get canceled."
You about to get canceled?
Oh, what are you talking about? Me? Why am I gonna get canceled? I'm saying this is. I see the hashtags. I got to bring it up, right? So Brendan, tell me. I got to jump to Brendan, and then Gavin, we'll get back to you. We'll talk all about the show, man. But Brendan, I guess because I've seen your Instagram. I wasn't confused saying, "Oh, look, this looks like John Cena." You got the goatee going on now, so I guess you were probably getting too many people. Probably after you trying to get autographs and shit, but yeah. So tell me how that kind of came about, man.
So what was it? I mean, just to say, my friends, so my immediate friends, my close friends, they've all been saying this for years. Oh, you look a bit like John Cena or from WWE. So that was going on since year 8 for me in secondary school. So I think that's like 8th grade for you guys. I'm not really sure how it works. High school, whatever, right? Since high school. Anyways. So all my high school friends and all my university friends are all saying, "You look a lot like John Cena. What's going on? Like, that's crazy." And it took one day out in Brighton. Brighton is like south of England, so south coast of England, right? For my friend's birthday. Well, I had a great day. Took a photo, and I didn't want to post my friends out there because I wasn't sure how they felt about being on my social media. Even though I didn't have a big following, I was like, you know what? Let me just crop them out. So I posted a photo of myself sitting like this, just because that's just looking at the camera. And I captioned it, I believe. I cropped all my friends out, but I don't care, something. I think I look good here. And that was it. That was the caption, right? And one person just said, "Black John Cena." That was literally it. Just one person said, "Black John Cena," right? Bearing in mind, this is something that I've really heard a lot of times. I've already heard people say, "You look like John Cena," blah, blah. So it took one person from Twitter to say, "Black John Cena." Then it just gets popular. Like it gets 100 likes. I'm thinking, oh crap. Okay, maybe a couple of people actually do think I look like John Cena rather than just like people who see me in person and whatnot. And then it got to that tweet got 1,000 likes. I'm like, oh, okay. Crap, a couple of people are saying this stuff and whatnot. And then it gets to the point where, what was it? I was at the gym. I remember specifically, it was on a Monday. I think Monday the 8th of August last year. I remember this very well. And I was at the gym working out. And then I just remember working out for 2 hours, seeing it go from 100 likes to 1,000 likes in that time period. I was just thinking, okay, interesting. And then I think one of the meme pages, one of those meme pages on Twitter,
right,
saw it, a big one, one of 100K followers saw it. They said, "Oh my God, this guy's literally like the Jerome Cena or whatever." And then R-Truth saw it. When R-Truth saw it, that's when it got really big. Because that's when the first article started to come up. And that's when it went trending. And then I remember very well because I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. R-Truth saw it. That's cool. And I remember very well that this was around 8 p.m. So I remember that evening, just people saying, "Oh my God, you're fired. You're you're trending on Twitter, right?" I was thinking, what? Whatever, man. Because I was oblivious. I was just like, mate, this is a bunch of people saying I look like John Cena. This is something that the people who are telling me have said to me anyway. So just it's nothing to me, right?
Right.
And then I go to sleep, and then my friend at 6 a.m. calls me and says, "Oh my God, mate, John Cena's posting on his Instagram." I'm like, the guy who called me does not know anything about wrestling, by the way. Doesn't know anything about wrestling. So I'm thinking this guy's an idiot. He definitely got confused with some random fan page or something dumb. It's whatever, mate. He said, "No, John Cena posted you." So I get a glance on phone. I see he posted me. I'm like, oh, that's the photo. Wow. That's crazy because obviously that was something that I didn't think would happen, right? So I was like, all right, that happened, right? And then I was so tired. I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep anyway. I was really tired. And then when I woke up, that's when it all kind of went crazy. CNN, all these news articles, these news people, BBC in England, they're all like, "Oh my God, you're the Black John Cena." Bro, tell us more about yourself. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, guys, like, whoa,
I just
wow, this is insane. Because it was crazy. And then, Instagram verified my account and everything. I'm just thinking, cool. And then I searched my name up on Google just to have a laugh to see what would happen. And I saw someone make a Wikipedia page. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, come on. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you can't even know about me. And then these news, I was doing interviews and I was having a great time. That week was really, that week or two was really fun. Of me just doing loads of interviews and guest appearances and whatnot. It's really funny. People in the streets were recognizing me, asking me for photos. They still do this to this day. But even the security guard last night in the place I went to was like, oh my God, you're the guy from the meme. and this deal was going crazy that week, and I just remember all the interviews I was having, and then the more interviews I was having, the more people were talking about me, the more articles I was getting made of me, and it was just crazy. But yeah, that's like the story. One photo that I was taking in Brighton on the day after my friend's birthday, that I crossed all my friends out because I didn't want them to get on social media, turn into me becoming the Black John Cena.
That's crazy. So that was like a year ago? You said that was last August?
It was literally this month. It was literally this time last year.
Well, happy anniversary then, I guess, right?
There you go.
So hey, did John Cena ever reach out to you?
It was a bit hard because it was the pandemic. Like, it hit in the heart of the pandemic where in the UK you couldn't travel over to the UK. But me and him, we kind of kept spoke here and there. But I think we will see each other a lot more in the coming years. Because that time was just too hard. And too hard. It was physically impossible to meet because we weren't actually legally allowed to travel from the UK to the US because of COVID restrictions and whatnot. So that was very difficult. But I've tried to try to keep in contact here and there. Like, I don't talk to him. It's more like talking through his people, and then through his people it comes back to me. That makes sense. Because John Cena is a very, very, very busy man, and I'm a busy man myself. I mean, I'm not anywhere near John Cena level busy, but I'm a very busy man myself. So
you're like, I need some John Cena money. Can I get some John Cena money?
I want to be there. I want to be in the movies. I want to be in the shows. Like, show. I'm here now. Like, now that everything's open, I am out here. So yeah, of course. I even want to go to WrestleMania next year because I'm coming to New York actually this coming Tuesday. Tuesday to just to like visit the country for a bit and just to like see some things. But this next year, this coming WrestleMania, I really want to go there. So I really want to see what I can do to like make sure that I can come see everyone who's going to be there. Liz might be there. Maybe Gabriel might be there. I never know. See everyone around there, and yeah, you'll be a blast. Maybe he will be there as well. So you never know.
Well, that's awesome. So Gavin, tell me how you guys linked up. I mean, like, you're in Arizona. We're like a world away. How did you link up with Brendan?
So I saw Brendan when he went super viral, and I just thought it was hilarious. And I followed him. And I think I even shot him like a message. I was just like, hilarious stuff, dude. Keep doing what you're doing. Own it. And he was doing some personal training, and he actually, one of the people he trains, our friend Anthony, who's really close with me, he's like, oh dude, yeah, this guy, we talk about soccer, football all the time, but he's into pro wrestling. He just went viral for this, yada yada. And I was like, yeah, dude, I just followed him on Instagram. And it was early January. Brendan posted on a story, he's just like, I'm looking to start a wrestling podcast. Anyone who like tips, questions, comments, somebody hit me up, and our friend Anthony like forwarded me the story. He's like, you would be perfect for this because just everything like behind the scenes is just like shit that I've been doing for a long time anyway. And I was just like, I hit him a message. I was like, dude, let's do it. And I think it was literally the next week we did our first episode.
Straight, so easy.
And it's just been rolling with the punches since.
That's awesome because Gavin, you have a pretty huge social media following, on Instagram and things like that. So have you always been just a huge wrestling fan and it's just kind of worked out? You guys hooking up together?
A little bit. I will say Instagram has definitely helped me make connections in the industry. It started out, it just went viral as a fan page, and it actually, in comparison, when I switched it over, it was me and a buddy doing it as a fan page. And it was just like this day in history and moment of the week and clips from stuff. And it was like, And my buddy like bailed at one point. He's like, I don't really want to do this. This isn't fun. I don't even really like wrestling that much. I was like, okay. I turned it to my personal page, and a lot of it kind of like died off. But the connections I've made with it, I mean, like you guys, Brendan, it's what got me into pro wrestling training when I was doing it. And, you know, it's definitely helped make some connections. And I tend to focus a little more on TikTok, and I actually just started getting onto YouTube as well. But I mean, I use Instagram as like, Instagram's my email. Like, that's where I'm like hitting people up. I'm like, hey, you want to come do this? Like, I'm commenting on stuff, come do the podcast. And that's how I'm making connections. So,
yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, Brendan, if you're coming for WrestleMania next year, I know Liz has her tickets and tons of people. I mean, it's going to be a massive party. I think in LA. I think
I'll be there.
Liz is taking like a month off of work. I mean, she needs her time. She needs her time to recover.
There you go.
No, I am taking a week off, probably.
I will do my absolute best to get there. I mean, the flights won't be an issue. It's more for me. It's just more about the logistics of how to get there, what to do, and what's not. That's going to be a bit complicated for me. But as long as I can get myself there, that's the number one most important thing. You know, I'm there in the city, in the environment. Cool. Obviously, the tickets as well. Tickets are important, but as long as I can get myself over to the country, to the West Coast, right? Isn't like in LA, isn't it? Around there. Yeah, cool. Oh, see, look at me there, my American stuff. LA. Yeah, I know a city. I know a city called Los Angeles. That's the state, isn't it? It's a state.
It's a city.
Oh crap!
The state is California.
Oh crap! Oh, I'm still getting. Oh crap! Damn it.
He ends up in Louisiana because he books a flight to LA.
Right? He's like, yeah.
LA is like LA. Next to you somewhere else, like mid. He's like in the mid.
You might end up.
I just found out last week that New York is a state and it's not just a city. I was like, so why is it called New York State then? Oh, I mean, I had a massive argument. I was like, what the hell is this about?
His mind was blown.
It was blown indeed. It was blown, mate. Honestly, I was just thinking, I have so much to learn about America and the culture. But listen, when I come to New York in the next week, hopefully I can understand a little bit of the country. And then come April, I'll be in LA. Yeah,
more familiar.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
I definitely recommend. I do recommend to kind of like start looking at tickets because they're gonna get pricier as the dates get closer. A lot of people are gonna start booking. So as a one thing that I do recommend, like you said, tickets are important, but tickets you can always find tickets.
Yeah.
The issue is getting here.
Yeah, very true. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So hey guys, tell me about the Pro Wrestling Heels podcast. What are you guys going to be doing? Tell my audience, tell our audience where to find you on YouTube. Like, where are you guys at? Is the show every once in a while? What do you guys got going on?
We just started. Liz was actually our first video episode because we do all the editing and everything backstage ourselves. So it's been a little bit of an uphill, a tricky thing. But Liz was our first video episode. We are on Spotify, all your Apple stuff, iHeartRadio, Pandora, I believe as well, video wise. And we've been trying to do like clips for everything else, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. But I mean, Liz being our first video episode, hopefully we start doing video episodes moving forward and just make that a main line because you know, I feel like from where we've come from 6 months, like just looking at like if you listen to our first episode, our most recent episode, like it's night and day that like we've gotten more comfortable. And Brendan and I's chemistry has been so natural that we just vibe together, and it makes it easier, and it makes it a lot less stressful for our guests to come on because it's not just like a super strict like back and forth interview. It's just us hanging out, talking shop. Yep.
Yeah. Just shooting. Yes, sir.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. I've always been a big fan of doing the live show. Just because I'm too lazy to go back and try to edit some shit. I don't really
adds to the realness though. It makes like this realness to it. Because it's like, oh, you slip up, you stumble over your words and
whatever, it
just adds this authenticity to it, I think. I like it.
Yeah, don't try I never try to put too much pressure on the show or pressure on the guest. I mean, it's kind of chilled and laid back. we'll talk with the guests before we go live. But, I think some people get really stressed out about it and say, I got too much stress in my life. I'm not trying to. I do this for fun,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
There you go. So.
And that's what I say. Yeah, like if you're doing it as a hobby, if it's something that you're passionate about, it's not work.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And speaking about that, Gavin and Brendan, what is your main goal? Like when you guys linked up together and said you guys wanted to start a podcast, like what was the main goal for your podcast when you guys started? Because of course, those throughout time, you guys have been on doing podcasts for about 6-7 months already. And I know that your goal now is probably different than what it was back then. But what was your main goal that got you guys started? And is that still your goal, or have you guys reached that already?
Question, actually.
I think the overall for me, when I hit Brandon up and I was like, yeah, let's do it. I was just like, this could be fun. Let's give it a try. And it was nothing more than that. It was let's talk shop and let's have fun. And I think the overall scheme of it is like, we're still just enjoying it. Like if it was something we stopped having fun doing, I'm sure we would stop doing it. But now it's more so also we've just slowly starting to meet people in the industry and even outside of the industry. We had a couple, a motivational speaker and a TikTok star, and like it's just like broadening horizons and meeting really cool people and really, people that bring a lot to what they're doing in their content.
Yeah. I mean, as Gabriel said, when we first started, it was essentially just to have fun, just to I think for me as well, it was mainly just to have a podcast, because even before the whole going viral and what's not, I always wanted a podcast, but I never really knew what to do the podcast in, like what to actually make it about, and B, I never really knew how to do or what to do, or just essentially just getting around making a podcast. I never knew that, and I just with Gabriel, my goal was just to kind of get that out there. And with Gabriel, I was very shocked at how intelligent he was, and how can I say, he's been very helpful. I always say it's like, without Gabriel, this podcast would be nothing. Like he's like the guy, like I feel like he's an unspoken hero. I mean, we're both equal in every single way possible when it comes to the podcast, but he's the guy. He's been running it. He's like, Brendan, I've got this guest, I got this person. I'm like, dude, like without you, I'd be. They're like, you're the guy. And obviously, I'm just bigging him up and what's not. But we got there, and it was just meant to be fun. And we've gotten to the stage now where we've got this person coming to the show, and this person, and this person, and that person's coming to the show, and we're learning a lot as we go on. And we make an episode like every week or every 2 weeks. At most, we'll make 2 episodes a month. The very bare minimum will be 2 episodes a month, right? And we're always learning new things to do. We want to make this. It could be a thing where we can make this into something that we do all the time. Like we could do episodes almost every single day, like it's a full-time job almost, where we have enough time to, interact and make new connections and whatnot. We're doing a great job, and the fact that it started off initially as being something that's just fun, and now it's something where it's like, this is not only fun, but we are getting somewhere. We're knowing a lot of people. It's like, do you know what? This is it. This is exactly like, this is what was in the back of my mind, what could happen. Now it's actually happening. And now we can only reach it even further up. And that's why I've had, it's great as well, because with me and Gabriel, when it comes to our episodes, we just shoot. We don't, obviously we have an idea of, especially when it comes to guests, of what questions to ask, who our guests are. We do our little research beforehand, but we, as you like to say, is just 2 bros chatting. 2 bros talking, having a conversation, we're just shooting. And I feel like that helps us break away from, that helps us be different from other podcasts as well. And a lot of our guests who are coming to the show have actually really appreciated that, because they can just genuinely have a conversation with us, and they have a great time just talking. They don't feel like we're trying to structure them or anything. They just have a great time talking. And again, when it comes to the goals, who knows, man? But we just want to keep going up there, and we are going up there. How we're going up there. So I couldn't be any happier than with Gabriel. So yeah, that's my my speech.
I think if it was something we could turn into, a full-time like job, and that'd be awesome. But I mean, we're just rolling with the punches, and we're just having fun with it,
Exactly.
Right. So,
go ahead.
no, go Liz.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. Do you guys think you guys would ever? Well, not ever. Of course, you guys are planning to, but anytime soon, or maybe before the year ends, or maybe sometime early next year, maybe for your year anniversary, you guys end up doing a episode together in the same room.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
if Brendan plans on coming to WrestleMania, and me being here in Arizona, not too far from LA, it's something that we very much have thought about. I think we were when we were talking to Chris Van Vliet, we were talking about doing a match.
Yeah, a match. Yeah, having a workout as well. Yeah.
Because we do both have little wrestling experience. I think enough.
Yeah.
We could get it by.
Yeah, for sure. I'll love that.
Well, I'd pay to see that.
Because he just needs his 5 moves of doom.
You're like ding ding ding. Let's go.
He just has to copy all the Cena moves.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I was like, well, by nature, I do just, I cheer for Cena, but I'll be even on this match.
Yeah, there you go. You're too good.
So Brendan, being over in London, a couple weeks ago, we had someone else from England on, or from the UK, and you guys don't get a lot of WWE over there, especially since the pandemic. Have you been to a live event either there or in the States? Because it sounds like you do come here as well.
I've been to 3 NXT UK episodes. I've actually been seen on TV, but the thing is, for me, whenever I go on TV, I never really look for myself. I just know I'm there, right? And my friends are saying, "Oh my god, I saw you in this episode. How was it?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool. I need this guy, I need that guy." One of the guys in the ring is one of my friends. He goes to the gym with me in Croydon, back home where I'm from, where I live, and it's just it's really cool. I've seen a few shows. When I was training for wrestling, I worked with a company called Progress. So I know who Progress is. Progress Wrestling in the UK. No one knows who it is. No?
Only from you telling me about it.
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah. But Progress actually, I think WWE, I don't know if they own it, but I went on the WWE network and I saw an episode of Progress on WWE networks. How maybe that's a stuff that WWE own, I don't know. But I did a little thing with them for a month or two. That was pretty cool. That was just my own wrestling experience. And I went to one of their shows as well. So I've been to 3 or 4 shows in England. I was going to go to the Clash of the Castle. The what? Clash at the Castle?
Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, Clash at the Castle. But I'm in New York, so I can't go.
The one time they come over,
the one time they're over there, you come here.
Since 1992, the one time I'm not in England. Oh, guys, let's have a massive pay-per-view. Oh, mate, in the UK, you guys can do one, man. Honestly, it's come on. But yeah, I won't be there. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun for those going. But yeah, I've been to a few shows in the UK. I plan on going on more, a few more, and yeah, there isn't much here though. To be honest, there isn't much wrestling stuff there.
I won't be at WrestleMania next year in LA, but I can tell you from firsthand experience that WrestleMania is unlike anything. Yeah. Well, I don't want to say unlike anything because you're over London and football is massive there. I have a really good friend from Manchester, England, and you know, I know your football matches, some of them can be huge. So, but WrestleMania is now it's a week-long event. And then it's also accompanied by WrestleCon, which is just a week-long event of a bunch of different independent wrestling events going on. And so that's something that could be really fun. But I've been to 4 WrestleManias, and they're definitely something to be really excited for. So I'm excited for you going, Liz. Liz, is this your first WrestleMania?
It's my first Mania. So
nice.
What about you, Gavin? Have you been to any WrestleMania?
I was about to say, so Tony, I went to 26 up in Glendale. Shawn Michaels' retirement. Yeah, I was there. I went to the Royal Rumble that was there a few years ago. I've been to a couple of holiday shows. Like, I feel like the 4th of July is always in Phoenix for whatever reason. Because every time I go to a show in Phoenix, it's 4th of July. So like the Usos New Day rap battle was up there. But that, like, the WrestleMania, like, even compared to Rumble, which is my personal favorite event, just the energy in that stadium at WrestleMania is ridiculous. It's unmatched. And I'm sure, like, you put it in a place like LA on top of it with, like, now how you were saying, like, now it's not just like the day of, they're doing 2-day WrestleManias with the NXT card, all the local shows, everything going on. Like, I can only imagine how awesome that must be.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, back in the day,
crazy. Like, there's already so many promotions coming up right now. I can only imagine all the shows that are gonna be lined up for Mania. You guys definitely got to get out here.
Yeah, back in the day, it used to be a lot different, and I'll kind of show my age. So I went to WrestleMania 18, 19, and 20, and it was a lot different back then. So you had, like, WrestleMania Access, which was, like, Thursday. Friday, they would do, like, the Hall of Fame ceremony, and then Saturday, it would be something in between, and then WrestleMania would be on Sunday. But now it's, like, a whole week-long thing. So it's a huge money grab for WWE for sure. But it also brings a lot of money to the local economy. So LA should definitely see a huge bump because I'm sure it's going to be just insane.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Just being LA to start with.
Right.
Oh, ridiculous. Probably so much fun though.
So when are you guys doing your next show? Do you guys have that planned out?
We are currently talking with a WWE/WCW legend, and we don't have him confirmed, so I don't want to throw a name out there yet. But hopefully, we have him in the next 2 weeks. But I mean, we're always looking for people. We have a lot of like I talk to people on Instagram, and I'm like, dude, just because you weren't in the WWE, like, you just have a big Instagram page or like you have a big YouTube page, like, you don't have to just be in the industry to come chat with us. We do a lot of episodes where we talk with content creators. So I'm always reaching out for someone who's on the come up, and health and fitness as well. We talk a lot about, Brennan being size of a bus. And me trying to catch him, but so we're always talking. We don't just zone in specifically on WWE. That is our passion, and even when we bring on guests from outside the format, we'd like to ask them a little bit about wrestling just to keep it mostly a wrestling podcast. But we're always looking to kind of expand because it's I've made my internet presence specifically off just trying to make content, and Brandon is a meme legend. So like we're always just anything that has to do with internet and wrestling on top of that, we're just always looking for.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I love connecting with a ton of, different podcasters, and, there's so much content out there, and it's like, there's enough for everybody, right? I mean, there's something for everybody. And I recently started doing another podcast that has nothing to do with wrestling. Very interesting. It's called the Neurodiverse Podcast. So I'll give that a little plug. So the Neurodiverse Podcast is myself and my partner, Liv. And she's neurodivergent, if you know what it is. And then I'm considered neurotypical. So if you want to know more, you definitely got to check out that podcast. We do it every week. We don't really have a day yet. We've done it like on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday. But last week we had like a numerologist psychic on there, and she's amazing. She does readings, and she's pretty phenomenal. So check that out. But anyways, I gave that a plug. So I want you guys to tell us one more time, the Pro Wrestling Heels Podcast. Tell audience where to find you guys, and just all your different social media handles, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Gabriel, you go first.
So firstly, for the page, we do have the Instagram handle Professional Heels Podcast. More so just a central place, because I know Instagram's the most popular going right now. I have been posting our episodes on my YouTube for the time being. It's at Jim Ross, play on Jim Ross. And then my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube is all at Jim Ross.
Yep, that's him. I just have Instagram. I have Twitter as well. I mainly use Instagram. That's where my stuff is. My Instagram is literally just my name at Gabriel. And I know we have the Professional Heels podcast. You know, we both own the Instagram page. You know, not too active on that page. We're trying to be a bit more active there, but we release episodes on again, weekly to bi-weekly basis. On my page on Instagram, I mainly focus on just being a fitness coach, because I'm a qualified fitness coach, and my presence is online. I've reached a stage right now where I've actually maxed out on clients. I'm like, woo! I have a lot of clients. Let me actually step back before I get overwhelmed. But it's great, and I'm having a great time. And now I'm just trying to do what I can in terms of just, what can I say, in terms of just, making my presence bigger on the platform. But yeah, my not Instagram, my Twitter is I am Cobbina. For me, I didn't even know what else I have. I'm just there. I'm just there. Professional Heels is on all Professional Heels podcast is on all streaming platforms. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and many more. We are. If you go on, if you go in Google and type in Professional Heels podcast at Buzzsprout, or just Professional Heels podcast, the first link should be Buzzsprout. Is it Buzzsprout? Whatever it is, but that has all the links to all the episodes that you can watch there, or you can watch on all the streaming platforms, all the other streaming platforms anyway. So we're out there. Our podcast is out there. I'm out there. My man Gabriel's out there. So we are trying to make things work, and trying to put ourselves out there more. And the more people know about us, I feel what's good for me as well is that as a meme, I'm known as a Black Latino and what's not, but it's also good that people, whenever they ask, oh, I wonder what he's doing today. They're like, oh, he's actually got a wrestling podcast going on. He's doing it good and what's not. He's not just, a meme and that's it. He's still trying to be active, he's trying to be active in the sense where he's doing what he is doing and he's sharing on social media. And that's kind of what I always want to do. And that's why I'm so happy that the podcast is going very well, because not only does it help my man Gabriel, but it also helps me and it helps our podcast. So yeah, that's it for me. So all
that's awesome, guys.
Yeah,
I love it. But I have one question. Because it's called the Professional Heels podcast, you guys gotta let me know, who is your favorite heel of all time and why?
Straight heel, based off just them being heel, it's got to be The Miz for me. But overall, Randy Orton's probably the GOAT in my opinion, as far as heel status, just the different ways he's done it, legend killer, legacy, this, that, every time he has a heel run, I'm invested.
Yeah, I have 3. For me, the first one, and this is actually my favorite wrestler of all time, which people are surprised about, is Ministry Undertaker. That's my first favorite heel. 1999 Undertaker was just straight. Oh my god, so good, so good. I love that guy. Second one was Chris Jericho. I just loved him as that cocky heel that he was, and it's just everything about him was just solid. And the next one is, I said Chris Jericho, is Randy Orton, as Gabriel is Randy Orton. Randy Orton / Edge. They're tied. Randy Orton Edge was moving crazy in 2006.
I was just talking to someone, Ultimate Opportunist. I hated that.
Honestly, because the thing is, also, I am Cena's in my top 5 of wrestlers, right? And I was a Cena, in 2006, I was a Cena fan, and this guy just used to irritate me. I'm like, what's your problem, man? Just get a life. Well, just leave him alone. What's your issue, man? And he used to irritate me. I was like a 9-year-old kid just on TV. I was like, why are you here? Cena would be like, yeah, I want a match. And then his music would hit, and then Lita will come out. I'm like, what's your problem, man? Like, why wouldn't you just like, you lost? You know, you lost. Go away. And then he won the Money in the Bank. I'm like, this guy's such a cheat. I hate this guy.
that's recent.
Well, if they're invoking that kind of emotion in you, Brendan, then they're doing their job. They're doing their job. Well, thank you so much for joining us, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on. We got about 20 minutes left in the show. If you guys want to hang out, we'd love to. This is kind of the part of the show. Liz and I just kind of shoot the shit, talk about the week of wrestling, talk about Liz's 100 appearances that she's got going on. So let's plug away.
I actually did want to ask you, or not ask you something as much. I know you were saying, Tony, that you plan on going to this Prescott Pro Wrestling.
Right.
The Brian Kendrick. Is that the show? I think they have JTG advertised as well.
Yes.
Okay. So I was actually looking at that card the other day because I almost thought about going. I feel like I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold, so I'm actually not going to go. But just to show how like small world it is. There's actually a few people, and I'm sure we get it cross streams all the time being Phoenix, and I'm in Tucson, which is about 2 hours away. So a lot of like the up and coming indie guys in Tucson go to Phoenix. A lot of the Phoenix guys come to Tucson. Weirdly enough, there's a guy on that show. His name is Chubby Depp. Ring name Chubby Depp. And he actually
be on the show too.
Yeah, he actually not here in LA.
He got trained by Chris Evans, who's actually the guy who got me into pro wrestling down here. So when I was introduced, I was training with Cactus League Wrestling pre-COVID. And it was Chris Evans and Roman Alexander and Johnny Suave, a lot of guys who are pretty big down here in this part of the country. And it's just crazy that it's such a small world.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, you know.
I got an extra ticket, man, if you want to make the drive.
I dead ass would have, but like yesterday I had that like I'm gonna wake up sick tomorrow, and I definitely feel it like in my face. Like I'm
like
just
stuffy.
Yeah, so now I'm like thinking about how I'm gonna get out of work.
Carol, but yeah, no, he's ill. He's ill. I know.
You can probably a little bit of a nasally. I can feel it in my voice, but yeah. But that's crazy that like all things considered, if I say I hadn't gotten sick and we hadn't reached out kind of thing, I'd have bumped into you there. I'd have walked past it and been like another handsome bald man in Arizona.
Oh shit!
Let's go.
You're making a brown man blush.
Yeah. But just showing that how small a world it is, especially the wrestling world. I think Chubby Depp, Kevin Koa, who's coming up. I've known him for a while. He's kind of a beast. I actually have been trying to reach out to him, trying to get him to come on the show, but no luck yet.
Well, yeah, man, we'll definitely have to meet up somewhere because I think there is a show coming up in Phoenix in September.
Yeah. I've been trying to. So like when I stopped training with Cactus League Wrestling, it was a bunch of drama it was mostly COVID, but it was a bunch of drama with behind the scenes shit, politics. And then with COVID, like we couldn't properly train for close to a year without it being like an issue. And, I had family. My sister had just had a baby. So I'm like, this is a good time for me to step away and, count my blessings. Right. And it caught up with my body. I'm 30 this year. It a year away from not doing it, my body was like, hey, you really want it? And, I still do get the itch from time to time, but like my body's like, no, I only trained for about a year and a half, broke ribs twice, every bump and bruise and twist there was, but like,
right.
It's just crazy that so many of the guys that are big down here and up there, and it's just even like over in LA and SoCal, all that whole region is just like a big name of guys.
Yeah,
I just need to throw that out there.
No, that's cool, man.
Because it was weird
cool
that I was actually looking at going to that show.
But like I said, I mean, if you're feeling any better, the drive is like a 3.5 hour drive for you, I think.
Yeah, I'd have probably left about right now. You see me throw on a hat and grab my wallet and run out.
Well, it's
turn off the camera, but we hear the door.
Right. It starts at 4:00. It starts at 4. and I think it's
Now,
like a 2-hour show.
Was this what they were promoting, like a America's Got Talent guy on there or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I think America's Got Talent finalist is the host or some shit.
Dude, it's so funny, and that's what I love about these small indie shows. Is just like they know how to make fun of themselves without being too serious. Like,
right.
Yeah.
A lot of the shows down here, I'm sure you guys have seen, like Santana Jackson, the Michael Jackson impersonator. Dude,
Oh yeah.
About it in the last show.
Dude, he does a lot of shows down here too. Like, it's just indie shows are fun, dude. People don't like, they think like
they don't get the credit that they should.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I took a friend who was like didn't know much about WWE. I took him to an indie show, and it was like from like a professional standpoint, it was not a good show. But he was having fun, and I was like, dude, like put this on a bigger scale, add the lights and the fireworks and the music. Like, dude, it's quick to get addicted to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Well, I'm excited for tonight, but I do want to talk about. And while Liz is nice and high, I want to talk to her about. So the big news this week, the big news this week is CM Punk getting squashed on Dynamite. So CM Punk, which I never thought, and I don't know what's going on, whether what's a work, what's a shoot, all the drama that seems to be going on with AEW, so much drama. We don't have enough time in the show to talk about all the drama. But let's talk about CM Punk getting squashed by Jon Moxley for the AEW, I don't know, unification title, whatever the fuck they're calling it on AEW. So, Liz, what was your thoughts on CM Punk getting squashed in under 5 minutes?
I swear, I still am processing this fucking match because I still don't believe it. Like, did that shit really happen? Did we ever think that we were going to see CM Punk get destroyed that way? I'm not surprised because I mean, I don't know. I still felt like he wasn't 100% to come back. I feel like he kind of came back too early, or at least maybe it just wasn't announced and they were just trying to get him out there and see what was going to happen. And look what happened. But they're supposed to have a rematch at All Out still, so we'll see how that goes. But I was rooting for Moxley on this one. I didn't want Moxley to lose the championship, so I was happy that he retained. But the way that he retained, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it because I'm a Punk fan too. Like I like Punk, so but that shit was insane. I'm still processing the fact that it was 3 fucking minutes. Like Moxley versus Punk, 3 minutes fucking long, and he got destroyed. But it was pretty obvious once he went down, he couldn't come back up. He wasn't able to put pressure on that foot. And I was like, he's done. I was like, there's no way. And the fact that Moxley was fucking brutal, I love it. This is the type of heat that I like to see in a fucking match when that person has the opportunity and takes the fucking opportunity to destroy the other person. I'm all for it. So this is shit that I've been asking for, like from WWE, like Drew, and I was like, I need him to get nastier and meaner. That is exactly what I mean. Like destroy your fucking opponent. I don't know. That's just me. I love it. But I love how Moxley took it. So I'm not too mad about it. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not too mad about it. I'm just gonna say that.
All right, fellas, what do you think? I know Brendan, you probably didn't catch any AEW because I heard it's hard to get over there. But, I want to get your guys' take on what you guys think about CM Punk getting squashed.
He got cooked, mate. He got cooked. He got fried like fried chicken. I don't even know, mate. He got cooked. For all I know, right? Like, even in the UK, we have AEW on free TV. I don't know about the pay-per-views. We have the the Dynamite or whatever. So I'm pretty sure that was there. And I remember just watching the highlights. I just laughed my ass off, mate. I was like, that's so bloody jokes. That's funny. Like, you just seen hit his finisher, 1, 2, 3. You're like, oh, he actually just got beat clean. That was my first reaction. He got beat clean, right? And then secondly, I was like, wait, that was in what 3-5 minutes? Oh man, that's even funnier. But I don't know. I mean, it sounds funny because what is next? They have a rematch, and then from there onwards, maybe this is like Punk's sort of heel turn that he turns on the fans, yada yada yada, because that does look like it's a very like I said, that does look like that defeat does look like Punk was the heel and he just got his ass beat. But he's now going to come back with vengeance, and he's going to be a prick about it, and he's going to, how can I say, he's going to, like, I don't know, weasel his way into victory. It's not going to be very, very nice to see, but he's going to win. And yeah, I mean, listen, I will be very, very honest. I know probably 20% about AEW. I know Chris Jericho is still there. I know John Moxley, who's also Dean Ambrose, is there. CM Punk is there. I know he's the Black Belt champion. That's very attractive. Jade Cargill. Is it
Yes.
Jade Cargill? Does it correctly?
Yeah,
She's
Jade
gotten a
Cargill.
lot better, dude.
Oh,
She's gotten really
sweet.
good.
Oh, mate, that was first take. Oh, mate. Yeah, Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill. Who else do I know? Oh, crap. This is not good. Oh, Rusev. I mean, Miro. Miro is there. Claudio. See, I'm getting names correctly. See, I'm such a WWE meathead, I swear to you. Mate,
I will say, I like how AEW does kind of blur the line between shoot and work. Like, there's so many things that say it was a work, so many things that kind of imply maybe it was a shoot. I mean, you have like the injury, but like if he wasn't ready to come back and he re-injured himself, how are they going to do this rematch?
Exactly.
Kind of thing. On top of, if it wasn't a work, why did they have their championship match so early in the show, and why did the timing of the rest of the show seem okay?
That's what that's what I was thinking too. See, I agree with that. After that match, and I was like, they knew this match was going to end really soon.
That's what I'm saying. And then like with the way they did, there was like the rumors that CM Punk was unhappy and starting to be a diva again. So maybe this is all just to make him turn heel and be like the CM Punk. But at the same time, you see everyone was saying the whole MJF rant was a work, and they've had him off TV since. And it's like, at this point, if it was a work, there's not gonna be a payoff to have him. People are rumoring him coming back for the battle royale thing they do, the ace and the whatever it's called. But like, that's not the kind of payoff you want. Like, you have him go off like that, and it's a work. You want him back a week or two, and you want him back to, wreak havoc while it's still fresh. And like, by this point, your casual wrestling fans are like, oh, MJF, I don't even remember this guy. It was 3 months ago, kind of thing. So I will say AEW is really good at making it not super clear as to which way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I like Moxley, and I like the whole Blackpool club that they got going on right now. It's like adding kind of a badassery faction. I keep up with AEW. They put on, in my opinion, better matches, but like some of this long-term like storylines with them just really like confuses me. Like I'll miss 1 week and I'll come back. Jericho stabbed this faction in the back, and now he's with this faction, but Sammy's over here still, but he's a heel and they're a face, and this guy over here is now beefing with this guy. And I'm like, bro, I missed one episode. What the
facts. Yeah, that's what goes about AEW. Honestly.
But like the wrestling, like I'm like, anytime someone's like, hey, I want to get into like pro wrestling, should I watch Raw this Monday? I'm like, watch AEW if you're trying to get into like the wrestling fact. If you want the drama and the soap opera effect of it, WWE is more for you. I think there's a way to enjoy both of them, but like personally, I like the long-term storytelling, so I just lean WWE a little bit more.
Well, my take on this is I haven't agreed with a lot of things that AEW is doing lately, and I don't know what's going on with their backstage drama, and I really don't care. I think the product right now is just – I think Tony Khan might be a little
over his head.
Yeah, he's flustered because of what's happening over at WWE. What the problem is, I think he's paying attention too much to WWE, but by putting a belt on Moxley, I think was the right move. Moxley, in my opinion, is like the modern day Stone Cold. So if you're going to make him like a Stone Cold type of character, I think he's the right guy to do it with. And they're finally putting the belt on a champion that can carry the brand. I think Hangman Page was an atrocious champion. He's bad he's bad on the mic. He's not that great in the ring, and he's not really any kind of a personality. And for him to carry the belt as long as he did, I mean, I'm glad they've gone in a totally different direction, putting the belts on Moxley. I don't know what's going to happen at All Out with CM Punk and Moxley. If CM Punk is still pretty banged up, but they're saying this match is still happening at All Out. Yeah. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm not big on squash matches. I think that really takes a lot. I mean, you really can't take anything away from CM Punk because he's CM Punk. But I think what a lot of fans are wanting is that anti-establishment CM Punk back in the WWE, but I don't think he's that person anymore. So I don't think that character or that CM Punk, I don't think we're ever going to see that version of CM Punk in AEW because
it came from a place of realness with him because that's how he actually felt about the company he was in.
Exactly. So I think for fans who are like, "Oh, we got to see that CM Punk," you're never going to see that CM Punk. I don't think that's ever going to show up in AEW. So I don't really know where they're going with CM Punk. I don't know if he's still kind of injured or what's going on. And as far as like the whole thing with MJF, they lost all the steam in that storyline. It's gone. And wrestling fans have a very short-term memory. If he comes back, it's going to be like, who cares?
I do.
That's kind of the way I see it. I think MJF is phenomenal. I think MJF is great on the mic. He's solid in the ring. He's a bigger-than-life character. For modern-day heel, MJF is definitely at the top. And I think AEW really dropped the ball with MJF. Yes. Whatever the hell is going on, not paying him or whatever the hell it is, they should have just forked over the money and paid the guy. But I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Tony, like you said, I think since this Triple H, makeover on the main roster in WWE, you've started to see like this person is unhappy. And I just read something about Billy Gunn saying like the booking is starting to go a little haywire. And I think I don't know if like maybe he's trying to start to suppress, because in my opinion, when I look at AEW, there's no reason that Malachi Black shouldn't be like top heel right now. And I feel like they're just like some of these WWE guys they brought in to make a difference. Now that WWE's making these changes, it feels like they're trying to push him down. And I feel like with Kenny Omega, he kind of still has that New Japan like sticker on him. I think CM Punk will always kind of have the ECW, Ring of Honor, WWE, So I feel like with where Moxley is, where he was always the third guy in the Shield, he's kind of made it where AEW is what he's most known for. So I think to give him the face of the company is probably the smartest thing for them. But there are just so many question marks around what they're doing, in my opinion.
Well, stay tuned because hopefully it's going to get a little more interesting. So that's going to do it for our show today. Fellas, thank you so much for coming on. And it is the Professional Heels podcast with your host, Gavin Gabriel, Brendan Cobbina, across the pond, as always, joined by Miss Hollywood Heel Liz. And keep it, if you're in LA, keep an eye out, take a picture. She'll sign an autograph, just keep your space. Keep your space. Right, Liz?
Thank you guys for having us.
Guys, thanks for having us. You were great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. We're real excited to see your podcast and all the big things you do. Liz, you heading out for some brunch? What's going on today?
I don't know what I'm going to be doing right now.
No? She's maybe getting a little more high. Maybe.
No, I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to chill because it's been a long weekend already. So I'm trying to relax. I'm telling you, I woke up late today. So I'm just trying to relax today. So maybe I'll have brunch come to me instead of me.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, everybody. That's going to do it for our show today. I'm your host, Tony Twist. This is ATW, All Things Wrestling Podcast. See you next Sunday, and we're out of here.